When my parents helped my husband leave me because I couldn't give them grandchildren, I thought that was the worst betrayal I'd ever feel. I was wrong, because 3 years later, they saw me pushing a stroller and suddenly wanted to be part of my life again. That's when I understood the truth. They never missed me. They missed what they thought I owed them. I grew up an only child, in a house that always wanted a son. My mother didn't even hide it. She said it casually, like it was normal, like I was something unfinished, something disappointing that couldn't be fixed. So I spent years trying to be enough, trying harder, doing more, hoping one day the goalposts would finally stop moving. They never did. Then I met Mark. When I brought him home, everything changed. Suddenly, my parents were interested in my life. They invited us over, cooked for him, praised him constantly. My mother would smile at him and say, "You're the son we never had," right in front of me. I swallowed it, because at least they were finally paying attention. We got married. 6 months later, the pressure started. "When are you having a baby? Don't wait too long. We want grandchildren." I wasn't ready, but Mark was excited, so we tried. Months passed, then tests happened, and the doctor told us the truth. I was infertile. When we told my parents, my father didn't say a word. He just stood up and walked out. After that, they stopped calling, stopped visiting, stopped pretending I mattered. Mark and I discussed IVF, but we couldn't afford multiple rounds yet, so we paused. My parents acted like I refused on purpose, like I was selfishly withholding a child from them. After one call where my mother told me I was worthless as a woman, I cut contact. Mark comforted me, at first. Then something changed. He stopped touching me, stopped looking at me, stopped trying. 3 months later, he handed me divorce papers and said, "I don't want to get into it." The divorce dragged on for months, and when he finally moved out, I found out he was living with my parents, like they had adopted him and replaced me. I sat alone in my empty apartment and realized something that broke me more than anything else. My own family didn't lose me. They traded me in. After the divorce, I disappeared from their world. New number, new home, new life, piece by piece. I rebuilt myself, but one thing never changed. I still wanted a child, not for them, for me. So I did IVF with a donor 4 months ago. I gave birth to my daughter, and the first time she fell asleep on my chest, I felt like I could breathe again. Then one day, everything collided. I was walking down my street, pushing her stroller, when I saw them. My parents, Mark. They stared at the stroller like it was the only thing that existed. My mother asked, "Is that yours?" Mark stepped closer. "I've been thinking about you." My father nodded like he was approving a business deal. "Invite us over. We need to talk." Mark looked at the stroller again. "Maybe this is a sign." That's when something inside me snapped. I said, "I'd rather invite bloodthirsty wild animals into my house than you." My mother tried to grab my arm like nothing had happened. I pulled away. "You abandoned me when I was grieving," I said. "Now you see a baby, and suddenly you remember my name." Then I looked Mark straight in the eyes. "You didn't leave me," I said quietly. "You got recruited." That night, he called from an unknown number. My parents were whispering behind him like directors feeding lines. He begged for another chance, blamed everything on disappointment. Then my mother said, "This is why we cut you off. You were selfish, you demanded comfort." I hung up. Later, I learned the truth. My parents had been taking Mark out without me, giving him money, buying him gifts. They convinced him he deserved better, and I was holding him back. And he believed them. A week later, while I was at work, my nanny called. "He's outside," she whispered. "He's drunk. He's trying to kick the door in." I called the police while listening to my baby cry through the phone, hearing his boots slam against my door. My nanny escaped out the back just before the sirens arrived. I pressed charges. The restraining order came fast. My parents backed off after that. Now they tell people I'm cruel, that I keep their grandchild from them. But most people see the truth.